Hi! Welcome to my tube! My name's Marge. I'm an empath. I'm a Hyoka, Weiss Clown. And I like to do these little daily talks. I believe in energy, and everything is energy, and frequency, and all that yah. So I like to, come on here and give my take on the situation and things and how I see things. And I don't know, I'm mixing it up. I'm trying to do it at a different time of the day and uploading a different time of day. And I'm just trying to play with the algorithms a little bit, Sometimes I'll put hashtags in there of, even though I ain't a fan, I'll put, I'll put up, it don't matter. Anyway, moving forward, I've had a good day. It's Green Day. I like to call it Green Day. It's 420, but I like to call it Green Day. It's the St. Patrick's Day for stoners. That's what I think of it as. Or just, I think that is it. I think with all the legalization of the Mary Jane, all across everywhere, we all know that it wasn't legalized because the feds couldn't, they couldn't come up with ways to regulate it enough. And now that they got their hands on that, they're letting loose a little bit when they're seeing the benefits. And from what I understand, that's why we're still in Syria, is because of freaking growing weed over there and want to, harvest, and they come back and be like, buy government weed. It's not even grown on U.S. soil, Politicians and government, they're just weird. They're just weird. They just run by their ego. They just do what they want. And the ideas they come up with are so bizarre. Stuff is so weird, man. Just nonsense. They keep just adding cogs. They just keep adding dissidents, I think they're created to not help, as a matter of fact. All this stuff, I've always been big on, inquisitive on finding out the truth and getting into because, I felt how people were, and so I wanted to try to find the evidence that verified what I knew about them to be true, and most of the time, I'm right. Sometimes I'm wrong. When I'm wrong, I'm glad to admit it. Yeah. But, we if we're willing to pay attention, we're given little goose eggs, little hints here and there. The universe is constantly giving us hints, And I've listened to a couple of good talks on Veritas, I think it's what it's called. And sometimes I gotta let the personalities that have these pages just go and pick up the good and leave the rest, and every situation, just pick up the good and leave the rest. Leave what doesn't serve you, But there's nothing is 100% evil, and nothing is 100% good. You gotta use your own judgment and figure out what's right for you. And I did my own video on anthrax, my experience with the anthrax vaccine. But there is this old storyline that I heard the other night. There's this guy. He was he worked for the CIA. Cody Snodgrass. I'll let you guys, Snodgrass, Snodgrass, Cody Snodgrass. But he told his story, and whether it's true or not, it could just very well be a story. It could be a true story, but it makes sense. That's the thing. It's like, what do people benefit from? What are they benefiting from if they did this? And the story that he told, just loosely verbatim, or just loosely off the cuff, is I was when I was in basic training. And after that, well, actually, not when I was in basic training. When I was in tech school, it was a place called Wichita Falls, Texas. And a girl I knew was driving a buddy of hers up to the airport. So I went along. And we went to the Oklahoma bombing site, because I remember where I was when that happened. It was freaking awful. It was a daycare and stuff. That's all I focused on, is the daycare. But this man told a story about how the CIA approached him and offered him $1 million to blow up that building. He wouldn't do it. What happened was there's this Operation Desert Storm incident that happened back in the 90s. I remember I was coming out of Terminator 2, the movie Terminator 2. My brother and his friends, had graduated. My brother came up to their graduation, and we went to the movies, and they paid and took me to see that. And then so when we were coming out, that the conflict had ensued. Operation Desert Storm had kicked off, and what had happened was, before that, evidently Saddam Hussein was like cool with the CIA or something, and then America even gave them anthrax, and then when that relationship went sour, Uncle Sam was all worried that he was going to use it on us, our own anthrax that the U.S. created in the lab to make people sick, that they were going to turn around and use it on us. So they had all these vaccines. They were just putting them in everybody, But the vaccine wasn't FDA approved. It wasn't even tested, It was like some guy slapped an anthrax label on it and called it good, right? And that's when all these people started getting this desert storm sickness and stuff, It's all energy. It's indoctrined. It's the formaldehyde. It's all the crap, and it's the toxins, and it just shorts people out. So it makes everybody more sensitive, more edgy, more intuitive, is what is happening in a lot of cases. But some people are thinking this intuition is schizophrenia. They're thinking this intuition is they're hearing voices, which is schizophrenia, but all they are is picking on different vibrations of things around them. And what happened, and then come to find out is like, well, why would they? Okay, well, so what does this have to do with the Oklahoma building? Well, all the people that got shots, the anthrax shots, their all the records of those were kept in that building. Yeah, because they were getting ready to do this whole proof that these vaccinations were making these people sick, and they didn't. The Uncle Sam would have had to pay out millions and billions of dollars everywhere to make right what they didn't want to make it right, so they just they do these things, and then lead us to believe a certain dialogue. And but people are using their own discernment. They're calling the bullshit flag. It was kind of funny. Give you an example. I had gone to the laundromat yesterday, and usually I go on Tuesdays, and my whole week was thrown off. And this gal that works there, Cheryl's week was thrown off too, because of she worked on a day that she wasn't supposed to, and then there are other circumstances. So time is just so weird. We're giving examples about how time is freaking way more fluid than we give it credit for. And I had right when I walk up, there's this little smart car, a little green one, and it had this sign in the back, and it says "No tailgating." I was like, what's this? It's like one of those, those cars that are like no bigger than a ball cap, right? I was like, this is when they're in the laundromat. This is going to be interesting, because I talk to everybody and anybody. So I'm like, who's this character? Because they like took a box cardboard and like made their own sign, like tailgating, in a line and a circle through it. That's what it's like. All right, let's go. Let's look at this, because it took out the whole back window of this little smart car, right? And I walk in, and there's this man, and I had my headphones on. There's a man talking to the attendant who worked there, and I was like, oh, this must be the old man. And I was thinking it was like her boyfriend first. I didn't really think it was her boyfriend, but I thought for a second maybe it was her boyfriend. And she's like, no. she quickly corrected me on that. But he was like, how did you know I just said that? She's like, not just 5 minutes ago. I was over there. He was looking at himself in the reflection of the mirror, and he was like, who is that old man? And I walk in, and I'm like, this must be the old man. And he's like, I couldn't. And I said, I do that stuff all the time. I'm an empath. I read energy. I pick up on energy. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me I walk in and I pick up on something you said. It's what intuitives do. It's what psychic people do. Everyone can do it. Most people ignore it. And he's like, he couldn't believe, and he was probably in his 60s, white beard, his little ponytail, white ponytail, and his Popeye hat. Yeah, leather hat. It makes me think of Popeye. It's like the old naval hat. Yeah. And he's like, he looked at me, and he said, thank you for being you. Thank you for just being a true person. And I said, thank you for acknowledging me. Thank you very, that's cool too. Have a rad day. Peace. So, you know, people can live, I mean, it's just, I just have more fun living a joyful life, because when I live in a joyful life and I'm not thinking about all the wrongs that have been done to me and all the injustices and all the wrong, this ain't right and that, when I'm focusing on that, I'm not seeing all the beauty in the world. I'm not seeing all the pretty stuff. And life is what we make it and what we focus on. So, I hope you have a rad day. Peace.